What if I told you that VEX's minions can actually activate her kill skills and get them to a +6, giving yourself massive boost to your gun damage? Well, that's exactly what this build is all about. In this, we'll be covering a Dead Ringer build for VEX that utilizes the minions and can do some pretty crazy stuff with a bit of the green skill tree. And you can see right beside my head here, we have 5 or 6 stacks of the different kill skills that we have here. And the crazy part is we can actually activate these by getting crits. And there's a certain skill on the skill tree that activates. We can also use a critical hit knife to boost this even further and keep our full stacks pretty much the entire fight. This is without me even fighting here. But if you're laying down some shots as well, you're going to be activating them and getting full stacks really fast. Like a 75% total damage dealt, 200% gun damage, and over 100% increase in melee and skill damage. And this build can actually use the new Mantra weapon, kind of like Face Puncher, which deals melee damage, because we actually build that up quite a bit with this build. And the thing is, we want to be getting down in the green skill tree to Mortal Terror here. Whenever we get a critical hit, we can activate our kill skills, which is crazy because the Keen Mind here, skill damage will gain critical hit chance against any part of enemies, meaning that not only our Reapers, our Spectres also get a critical hit chance. So we can use things like, we got 2 augments here that are really powerful, but to first start off at level 1, we got a choice to make. Fell Inscriptions gives us 30% more health and 45% more melee, or 35% more melee damage. Or we can go with the Sanguine Fiends here, which whenever we get a kill, we get 20% of our health restored. And again, this also procs off of our ability there. I don't think this is the best choice though, because we actually have a lot of survivability with this build. And I think that this actually gives us a bit more of a boost because melee damage will apply to our minions and to ourselves as well. Once we get down here, I like the Grave Assault. Getting increased fire rate as a kill skill is crazy. It has 3 stacks, but we can further boost that to 6, so we can shoot really fast. Now we can come down to Grave Fiends here, which is great because this makes us and our minions deal even further damage. I also like the Grave Quickening, which gives you your minions back a bit quicker, but I think even in Ultimate Vault Hunter 6, this is just a bit better for my testing. We're then going to come down here, and this is where we got to choose between our augments. Now, what's cool is Coven. Whenever we summon in a Spectre, it's going to give us a critical hit chance 10%, which makes us 25% likely to land crits and then activate our kill skills. So this can be actually really good because the Spectres shoot really fast. However, the minions can also do that pretty quickly as well. And the Hellish Harvest is my choice here because I like using the Reapers a bit more. They're good for grabbing aggro. And if you're not in Ultimate Vault Hunter 6, Coven's going to be better. I like the very high level. But for most people, Hellish Harvest keeps your Reapers alive and they keep dealing their damage, which is really good. We then can choose between, if you really like fire weapons, Burning Attunement's all right, but I do think Recurrence is better. Whenever we deal gun or melee damage, we gain a stack, which increases our minions' gun damage and melee damage. So they're just going to get a flat out boost, and the melee damage is a little bit higher, up to a 50% stack. Really good. And then we're going to take a few points of Reverberations here. This is where we got to make a choice, and I'm going to show you guys. So with Reverberations, melee damage dealt by VEX or minions has a chance to deal incendiary melee damage, and this is a 50% chance to happen, 90% of the damage dealt. It's a huge boost to our DPS, but I'll show you the choice in just a second because we're going to go into the green skill tree here. If you're playing from the start of the game, take the 5 points and go with the Grim Reaper, and then respec later to come over here where we can take Grave Sight, kill skill, we get increased critical hit damage and gun handling. I only like to take 4 points because 1 point of guns and needles, it's another kill skill that we can activate to get our Repkits back, and meaning we're going to be able to use our minions a little bit more with a certain specialization. We can then come down to Grave Implements. This works on our minions as well, which is actually pretty crazy because it's 20% gun damage, and we can now get 6 stacks of it for 120% bonus gun or extra gun damage. Pretty nice. Grave Power with the 3 stacks then takes that 3 stack max to 6, and this applies to all of our other ones that we got in the previous skill tree as well. Now, we got the Target Prescience here, which will give us critical hit chance against any part of enemies. And there's also Bleed. Bleed's really good. Gun and skill critical hits have a chance to apply Bleed. This is just double dipping with a bit more damage. Once we get more levels in the level cap increase, this is going to be a good skill to take because skill crits we're going to get more of now with Keen Mind. VEX's skill damage gains critical hit chance against any part of enemies. I do like Drink Fill to shoot faster, but we have another thing that's going to make us shoot fast, so we don't really need that. And going with this one here is going to give us that 15% critical hit chance. If we're using Coven here and we summon in one of our Spectres, it's going to give us a 25% crit chance, and then using things like the Critical Hit Knife really do boost this up quite a bit. This then takes us down to our Mortal Terror, chance to activate kill skills when critically hitting enemies. Now, we can go... Now, I like to take this to 5 because that gives us the highest chance of keeping our kill skills maxed out, but 3 is more than enough if we want to take the Grim Reaper Capstone and then take Reverberations here. Because this is going to give us 150% of our gun damage on melee, so we'd want to use Mantra a bit more, and by this point, you're going to be using Mantra, so that's nice. Then we can take the Grim Reaper Capstone here, which does give us a really nice This is just good because we can summon in more Reapers, and we got a special Reaper that we can use. This is good too. Coven will give us health regeneration when we summon into Reapers, but also the critical hit chance is the big one here. And I guess we can put our final point into Mortal Terror there for a 4% critical kill trigger chance. Try saying that 10 times fast. But yeah, the Grim Reaper is really fun. I've tried with the Dark Pack getting 2 augments and using Coven and the Hellish Harvest, but Reverberations is just such an powerful skill that we want. Now, the Illusionist class mod is fun on this build. However, I got a lucky roll and got this during the playthrough, and the badass ones are nice, but it's not that strong compared to the Teen Witch class mod, which is just absurdly powerful. So with this, when Vex gets her maximum health, her lifesteal will then apply to her shields and her overshield. This one gives us a 10% lifesteal flat out, so we don't have to invest in lifesteal, and we're going to be doing a good amount of it. But this is also good for the rolls that I got on this, which gave me 3 points of Grave Thirst, another kill skill with 3 stacks, lifesteal 4.5% per stack, and this applies to our minions. This is the best choice because we get overshield from our lifesteal, but our minions will then stay alive quite a bit too. Then we also have Corporeal here. When we have an overshield, our minions gain increased damage dealt by 24%, and our minions also can get overshield on top of that, so that's really good too. And then I have 2 points in conjunction for more damage. But we really want, if you can get more points in Grave Thirst, that's the best choice because that just gives us a crazy boost for our lifesteal. And then in further level cap increases, that's going to go really hard. Now for our shield, since we're getting so much shield regeneration, we want to boost our damage with things like the Watch for Dinner with 25% bonus shock damage, and then the Amp here, which takes 35% of our shields if they're full and gives us 150% gun damage. This is crazy because gun damage actually applies to the mantra even though it deals melee damage, so all these boosts really do impact what we're going to be doing. I also like to go with the heavyweight here because this is a melee focused one. I don't think it's the best choice, especially in late game content, because you will go down quickly using this. If you're mobbing, the Fireworks is kind of a nice choice too. Timekeeper's New Shield some people enjoy. The Protean Cell, another good choice because it gives us 40% shock damage versus the 25 that the Watts for Dinner will give, but it makes us less defensive. And the Super Soldier's great too. The movement speed and fire rate and regeneration of ammo is fantastic, but I do think that the Watts for Dinner is our best choice. Now, we got a few really good options when it comes to our augment or our enhancements here. The blind box getting the +1 Jacob's License per bounce pass is crazy. There's also a Jacob's mantra. Apparently, I haven't found it, but this will give us an additional ricochet. Great for overall DPS. If you're using the bod like that or the Dark Beast with an underbarrel, anything dataless is going to really benefit from the Gatherer here, which gives a +1 fire rate for every bullet fired up to 50%, which is absurdly strong. This gives you like a massive damage boost. And if you like Vladoff, like the Wombo combo, the Hero Bullet is a fantastic choice as well. But most times the blind box is going to be the best choice just for that increased ricochet on some of these weapons here. And for our Ordnance is going to be the critical vivisecting knife here, just because this makes us activate our kill skills more frequently because every time we throw this, is 30% bonus chance for a critical hit. They fixed it so it now can stack up to 3 times here so that our minions will be doing automatic critical hits. There's a lot of enemies around when they're doing their spinning attack there. It can actually activate these multiple times. It's crazy. Good luck involved, but if you don't want to use that, the Slippy Grenade is great too. Now for Repkits, I like the triple bypass with Leech for 30% lifesteal because again, we got lifesteal, it goes hard. We basically don't take any damage at all, and then we also drain, and it just works really well in this build. However, the tank for reduced damage taken works well. Enrage for the flat out boost to our overall damage. I don't recommend the amp. I think the Leech is just the best. Now, we want to get at least 3 to high caliber here because bullets pierced enemies is crazy on some of these weapons, especially ones that Jacob's License bounce pass. This one already has that, but if you can pierce, like Bloomreaper will get destroyed by that because they have the crystals lined up and you can just use this. But I would also like to have 3 Deadeye because that gives us a massive boost to our critical hit damage. Ideally, I'd get thrown here. This gives us an ordnance damage increase. I'd actually recommend 2 Deadeye for the increased gun critical hit damage and then 3 for the piercing. It's crazy on some weapons like the GMR, just the Jacob's assault rifle that can pierce through and actually hit multiple enemies because when it pierces, both of those are ricocheting too. So it's a massive boost to the DPS. It also is pretty strong like the Rowdy Rider as well, a new weapon from the DLC. So that can be a good one as well. You could even use the Hot Slugger, not a bad weapon in general. And the Rainbow Vomit is a really good one too for just the elementals. And the TK's Wave, one of my favorite weapons just because it's got crazy amounts of damage. And probably the best choice actually for this is the Bonnie and Clyde. Getting a kill with the shotgun and switching to the assault rifle and the crits will actually destroy pretty much anyone. And for specializations, as we mentioned, now with caffeine is so good because we reduce action skill cooldown whenever Repkit's used. 75% for 3 of those from the triple bypass means that we got our minions back pretty quickly. Riddle you this will give us 60% gun damage, which is really great. Honed Mind skills will have a chance to critically hit enemies, and this gives us boost to the damage from that as well. And then I also like the I'm a gun action skill damage now increases from gun damage increases. So those boosts that we get to our gun damage actually kind of end up double dipping around through here. So this is a good choice. So as you can see already, we're getting our kill skills activated really quickly for our minions. So yeah, that's the great thing about this. And then we also have the critical hit knife there, which can just sustain it. Absolutely absurd amounts of damage. I got the Bonnie and Clyde weapon out here. This is a little bit better if we're able to actually get this to, if we can use the opposite one on an enemy like that and then swap to this, you're going to see it just melts the boss like that. So yeah, this weapon is fantastic on this, but we got our mantra here, which is fantastic because it does the melee damage to reapply the reverberations. And you can see the damage from that is actually kind of crazy. Yeah, wow, the reverberations burn him down so fast. And then that Grim Reaper here is actually a really fun asset to our team. You don't even need to use the Spectre, although the Spectre is great because it can shoot a lot faster to activate our kill skills quicker. So yeah, I like to put on a Spectre at a vantage point where it can just continually shoot. If we're not going to attack too much, just throw the critical hit knife so that whenever they're attacking, they end up getting that, activating your skills here. But honestly, the mantra is so good on this build because of all the reverberations that we can get and all those extra damage increases that we got from activating kill skills. And then on top of all that, we got the gun damage boost from the Watts for Dinner and the Siphon, and we're creating extra damage so that we get more life steal back. And then our minions, they also get shields too. So yeah, lots to like about this build. It's honestly one of the strongest here. It's not going to be as powerful against Bloomreaper itself, but I did post multiple builds that you can take on Bloomreaper with if you want to play Vex and get that platinum time in Ultimate Vault Hunter 6. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed, and we'll catch you in the next one.